What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream, guys. Appreciate all you being here. Monday slate, start of a new week. 8-gamer tonight. Should be a fun slate. Should be, exciting one. I don't think this is one of those slates we've had, lately. This is definitely one of those days where there's a lot of ways you can go. I don't think there's any clear, clear path for tonight's slate. I don't think there's going to be like any massive chalk like there has been the last few days. We had the Kevin Porter night where he was so popular you basically had to play him. We had all those Houston guys that were so popular. It was really hard to, not get away from those guys. You basically had to play them. Today, I don't know if there's there's a couple guys that I really like, but there's no just clear path for tonight's slate. There's a lot of ways you can go, so should be a pretty fun one, man. I appreciate all you guys being here, tuning into the stream. For the next 45 minutes to an hour, we'll be live answering all your guys' questions, talking through everything. As always, though, hit the like button on your way in. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button as well. And yeah, let's go ahead and start talking about tonight's slate. If you got any questions, throw them in the chat and I'll answer them. Let's get it, Let's get it, Brandon. Let's get it, my man. Appreciate you being here. What's good, crew? Let's start. Let's get this money train started on time this week. Start this Monday off right. I'm with you, Robert. I'm with you, my man. Noah, my dude. What's up, Galvin? What's up, brother? Quickly, Levert or Burks? I'd play Quickly there between those three. Levert, I heard Levert's. I don't play FanDuel, but I heard Levert's basically minimum salary on FanDuel. He's close to it. I think you're going to play Levert on FanDuel, but I don't think there's any way you play him on Draftkings at whatever his price is, $7,100. So I would take Quickly there. I'm back for tonight. Let's get it. I'm glad to hear that, Brandon. Glad to hear that, man. What's up, Noah? Hit that like button, folks. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. Appreciate you being here, T-Bone. Thanks for being here, man. Zubac or Bobby Portis? If Serge Ibaka's out, give me Zubac. Serge Ibaka's questionable. That is an injury we'll have to keep an eye on. There's not a ton of guys questionable for tonight, but Ibaka is one that's kind of worthwhile because with him out, that would obviously, probably mean Zubac would start, and I'd assume Zubac would get mid-20s minutes if he were to sit. And Zubac's a productive player when he gets minutes, so I'd actually have a good amount of interest in him. Quickly chalk on Yahoo. Yeah, Quickly. Yeah, he's hard to get away from. He's going to be probably the first guy in my lineup on Yahoo. $13, such a good play. It's hard not to not like him. We just got word Justice Winslow's out. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know if that affects too much, but definitely some guys from Memphis become more viable. Maybe DeAnthony Melton. He's kind of the first guy. When I see Winslow out, DeAnthony Melton's the first guy that pops in my head that becomes viable. Kuzma and Harrell been doing good. Yeah, Kuzma and Harrell both been doing well. I think, if I had to play one on this slate, I think I'd rather have Harrell. Harrell's just such a productive player, man, when he gets the minutes that he's always someone I have interest in, and with no Marc Gasol, with no AD, I think the minutes are going to be there for Harrell. They've been there the last two games. But yeah, both those guys are in play. I mean, LeBron can't do everything. You're going to have to see some other guys contribute, and Kuzma and Harrell, they can both be, productive players when, they're not having to give usage to a guy like Anthony Davis. Behind Randall, who do you like on the Knicks? Well, definitely Quickly and probably Alec Burks. Quickly and Alec Burks are the two guys I'm looking to on the Knicks besides Randall. I think RJ Barrett's in play too, but I think Quickly and Burks are the two I'm the most confident in. I don't think Burks is going to be that popular. I think Burks is going to go overlooked, but with no Rose and with no Payton, I actually like Alec Burks quite a bit. I think he does really benefit. He's a guy that can handle the ball, can score, can be productive when he gets minutes. And the minutes were there last game, and I'm pretty sure Rose and Quickly were both out, or Rose and Payton, they were both out in their last game, and Burks got 27 minutes. Right, Quickly, Keldon Johnson, P.J. Washington, Holmes, Holiday, Draymond, and Murray. I'm assuming that's Dejounte Murray. That looks pretty solid for now, Nick. 4.1K on FanDuel, yeah. That's so cheap for Karis LeVert. He's basically a free square. He played 27 minutes in his first game since coming back from injury, so it seems like he's going to get the minutes tonight again. He should play even more than that. No DeRozan, how do you feel about Keldon Johnson? He's been bad lately. Yeah, he's been really bad. I think on the Spurs, the two guys I have interest in now that DeRozan's out are Derek White and Dejounte Murray. Keldon Johnson, I just don't. I played him the last time DeRozan was out, and it didn't go well, so I guess I got a little bad taste in my mouth from last time. You could play him, but I feel like there's probably better plays on this slate. What's up, Noah? Let's get that money. What guard can I get for $5,300? There's a couple guys that come to mind, but we'll take a look real quick. I think the first guy that comes to my mind would be Derek White. Now that DeRozan is out, I do have a good amount of interest in Derek White for $5,200, so he'd probably be the guy I go with there, Patrick. Hey, Noah, hope all is well. Been a few days since I've caught your streams. Hey, I appreciate you being here, Patrick. Thanks for tuning in, man. What's up, Noah? Let's do this. Love Patreon. I'm glad to hear that, Victor. I'm glad to hear that, man. Glad the Patreon content's helped. I got quickly LeVert, Harden, Burks, Randall, Holmes, Barrett, and Draymond. What you think? If you're playing, if I don't know if that's a DK lineup or like a Yahoo lineup. If that's Yahoo, I'm fine with that because on Yahoo, LeVert's pretty cheap. Like I think he's $17 on DK. There's no way I'm paying $7K for LeVert. But yeah, Yahoo and FanDuel. If you play FanDuel, they're both or LeVert's both cheap on both those sites. So that's fine. Super Brandon, Drew Holiday, Julius Randle, or Steph Curry and Rashawn Holmes. Give me Drew Holiday and Julius Randle. That's a close one though, but yeah, that's a close one. But give me Holiday and Randle. Harden or Jokic? Give me Harden on this slate. I think Harden and Giannis are probably my two favorite studs today. If I can jam in those two guys, I don't think I'm going to be able to play Harden and Giannis in the same lineup, but I definitely want to get one of the two. And I think I prefer Giannis right now, but I do like Giannis and Harden the most on this slate in terms of pay-up options. $16 guard on Yahoo, I can't decide. Let's see. I mean, obviously, if you don't have Quickly, I would take Quickly there, but I assume you're already playing Quickly. So I'd probably go with. I mean, yeah, there isn't much down here besides Quickly. You could play Lou, but like last night he only got 14 minutes. I know it was a huge blowout. I mean, with no Patrick Beverly, you think there'd be a few more minutes available for Lou, but he obviously didn't get the minutes last night. Maybe Devontae Graham, like he's been productive lately. He just hasn't been getting minutes. I think at some point he's going to get more minutes. I mean, yeah, it's tough. There's not a ton of guards I like. I guess, yeah, D'Anthony Melton, now that Justice Winslow's out, he honestly might be my favorite guard below $16. That's not Emmanuel Quickly. It'd probably be D'Anthony Melton. Freedom, Andres, I'd probably take Melton there. Thoughts on Halliburton seems trending upward. I mean, his minutes, like, I haven't been playing Halliburton recently just because, since he's come back from his injury or whatever, he hasn't been playing a ton of minutes. Like, he got 18 minutes first game back, then he got 24 last game. My best guess, he probably plays like 26, 28. The price has come way down, so I guess that makes him somewhat appealing. But on this slate, I think there's other guys I'd rather target. Like, give me DeLon Wright, give me Quickly over Halliburton, I think. Favorite stud and favorite value for GPP. I mean, favorite stud's probably Giannis for me. Favorite value, there's not a ton of great, like, cheap options on this slate. There's no, like, true punt plays that stand out. I think if Serge Ibaka gets ruled out, I'm really going to like Zubac as a value. If you consider Quickly a value at 5,600, I really like him. But, like, there's no cheap plays that, really pop off tonight. At least not right now. There's no Kevin Porter like we've had the last few slates. Thanks so much for your help. Won $200 on DK single $2 entry. My family couldn't believe it. Came in third place. Had Williams Jr. from the Pelicans at 0.47% ownership. Jesus Christ. Who is Williams on the Pelicans? I don't even know who that is. Williams. Who's Williams from the Pelicans? I know that was a blowout, so I'm guessing that's how you got there, but let me see. Or maybe you're talking about Kyra Lewis? Like, I don't know. I'm guessing that's who you meant, Kyra Lewis. But hey, good job, man. $200 on a $2 injury or $2 single entry. That's pretty damn good ROI. He said Williams Jr. from the Pelicans. Unless he meant Kendrick Williams, but Kendrick Williams plays for the Thunder now. In DK seems like a lot of value tonight. Antetokounmpo, Jokic in my top two spin-ups. I mean, I don't see much value, to be honest, but I mean, yeah, like if you can get Giannis and Jokic, obviously that's a great way to go, but I just don't know if you're going to be able to make that work on this slate. Like, I'm not seeing a ton of value. I'm hearing talks about like Rodney McGruder and some of these cheap Pistons, and they're fine, no Saban, or no Wayne Ellington, no Dennis Smith Jr. Like, there's minutes to go around. But, like, do I really want to play those guys? Like, God. I don't think this is a slate where I'm jamming in like two studs. I'm not going to like my build if I try and do that. Won a couple of dollars, nothing major, but love watching and soaking in all the content. Hey, I'm glad to hear that, Lamar. Appreciate you tuning in, man. How's Draymond still only 6.5K on DK? I have no idea. Draymond's way too cheap on DK. Way too cheap. What do you think about Alex Lynn's minutes? I mean, he played 33 last game, so if you're telling me he's playing 33 again, I'm going to really like him. But we've seen that, the minutes are going to fluctuate with those Washington bigs. Lynn, last time, or the game before Lynn started, it was a while back. Lynn started, he played like 7 minutes. Like, Lynn could play 7 minutes tonight. He could play 30 minutes. His price went up a little bit. He's still pretty cheap, though. So if you tell me the minutes are going to be there, I do like Alex Lynn. I just don't have any confidence in that. I mean, you can never have confidence in the center minutes for Washington just because they're just going to play whoever they want to or whoever's playing best. How do you like Dylan Brooks or Brandon Clark on Yahoo? I haven't really looked at either one, Robert. I'll be honest. If I had to play one of those two, I'd probably take Brooks. But, yeah, I really haven't looked at either one of those Memphis guys. Honestly, Memphis is not a team I have much interest in. I think DeAnthony Melton, now that Winslow's out, becomes a little bit more interesting. But I'm not seeing much from Memphis that I really like. Have you tried FanDuel and just not like it or never played it? I played FanDuel a while back, Brandon. Especially during baseball season, I played FanDuel a lot. Now I've just been focusing on DK and Yahoo. Those are the two sites I mainly play every day. So it's tough to, incorporate another site into there. I still have a little bit of money on FanDuel, but I rarely play. Quickly's 4,300 on FanDuel. Yeah, I mean, that's a free square, probably. Derek White or DeLon Wright? That's a close one. I'd probably take DeLon Wright still, but I do like Derek White more now that DeRozan's out. Cash at 341. That Patreon Saturansky call opened up so much value, $300 off of $1 best you can $20 you can spend in a month. Hey, I'm glad to hear that, Chris. I mean, Saturansky, he was pretty popular. Like, obviously that wasn't a sneaky play or anything, but when it was announced that Saturansky was going to start and he was super cheap, I mean, he was a clear value, I think. At least on DK. I still liked him on Yahoo too, but definitely DK, he became one of the better values once he was officially starting. Zubac in play, it depends if Ibaka sits or not. If Ibaka is out, I do like Zubac. If Ibaka plays, then I won't be on Zubac. What sucks is that's a 9 o'clock game, so I don't know if we're going to get that news before lock. Hopefully we do. Because if Ibaka does get ruled out, I definitely have interest in Zubac. Thanks for the vids, man. Do you ever play balanced lineups without the 10K guys? I mean, Derek, it's all slate dependent. Like, this is definitely one of those slates where I could see making lineups with no stud above 10K. Like, I don't think you have to jam in any, like, Giannis, Harden. I don't think you have to jam them in on this slate. Especially since it's all dependent on the value. Like, if there's a lot of good value that projects really, really well, that allows you to get up to the studs, then, yeah, you can go that route. But when there's not a ton of value, you don't want to be forcing in a bunch of studs and then having to play guys that you don't feel good about. This doesn't feel like a slate where I'm going to be jamming in studs. I think I'll probably play like Giannis if I can, but definitely not going to be able to get two studs together, I don't think. I still can't get over the original McGruder convo. Yeah, that'll be a memorable day for sure. The funny thing is Rodney McGruder is actually viable tonight. Do I want to play him? No, but the Pistons are pretty thin, and McGruder did get almost 30 minutes last game. I'd assume he gets probably around that tonight, and he's super cheap, so he's actually viable for once. I'm probably still not going to play him, but you could actually, like, if I saw a Rodney McGruder, if I saw a lineup with Rodney McGruder, I would be like, okay, that makes sense. Would build around Randall or Giannis. If Randall, what can you benefit from that since there's no value? I mean, I would want Giannis if I can get him in. But yeah, Randall's a great play as well. I mean, it's a great matchup for Randall. I like a lot of those Knicks guys. Randall, Alec Burks, Quickly, obviously, even RJ Barrett. Like, Brooklyn's a team I've looked to target a lot this year. They've been playing slower lately, but they're still not that good of a defensive team. So, yeah, Randall's a great play. If I can have the salary, though, I'd rather play Giannis. I mean, Giannis, this is just such a good matchup for Giannis against this Washington team. Like, he should put up 65, 70 again if the game stays close. If Giannis gets his full minutes, he's going to smash. He should, at least. And last time they played on Saturday, it was a close game, and we saw him go for 70 fantasy points. So on DK, who's your favorite pay up option at center besides Jokic? I mean, there's not a lot of centers I like to pay up for today. I guess you could consider Randall if you want to consider him a center, but I like the mid range of center. Guys like J-Val, Draymond, Rashawn Holmes, Montrezl Harrell. These are the kind of guys I'm looking to at center today. But I guess, yeah, Randall, since he's center eligible, he'd be the guy. Or Giannis. They're both center eligible. Clippers might just play small. I don't think they're going to be able to do that against Porzingis. I mean, they're going to need someone with size out there. You can't throw Marcus Morris against Porzingis. That's just not going to work. So I think Zubac will get at least like probably 22, 24 minutes if Ibaka's out. And Zubac's really productive when he gets minutes, so I'm going to like him a good amount if we get a word that Ibaka's sitting. RJ Barrett's finally back to playing well. He's only 6,200. Yeah, I agree. I think RJ Barrett, he's definitely going to be lower owned on this slate. He's going to be one of the lower owned Knicks, I think, and I do have some interest in him for sure. I don't know if I'd go there like in cash games or anything or in my optimal lineup, but tournaments, he's going to be low owned, and I think the upside's there for sure. Thoughts on Jordan or Zubac if he starts? Between those two, I'd rather have Zubac. If Ibaka's out, I'd rather have Zubac. Would you stack Knicks? Like, I don't know if I'd be playing like 4 Knicks, but I think you could definitely make a lineup with Randall, Burks, quickly. I'm totally fine with that. I mean, I'm not like stacking the Knicks tonight, but I think there's multiple guys that are in play from New York. And if they happen to make it into the same lineup, I'm fine with it. But I would definitely probably limit myself to like 3. I don't think I'd be playing 4 on this slate. Favorite center play outside of Jokic? I mean, it's probably Rashawn Holmes. When you factor in price, I think Rashawn Holmes looks like one of the better center plays today. 3 Knicks players, the max for cash games. Yeah, I think Randall's cash viable. Quickly's obviously a great play in cash, and I think Alec Burks is cash viable. So, yeah, I could see playing those 3. I wouldn't play anyone else, though, I don't think. Rodney McGruder or Alex Len? If I had to pick one, I'd probably take Alex Len, assuming he starts again. Damian Jones, min price if he starts. I mean, yeah, he's been starting recently, but he's barely been playing. Or I think he's been starting recently. I honestly can't remember. I know Montrezl Harrell's been getting bigger minutes, so like even if Damian Jones starts, he's basically going to play like the JaVale McGee role, where he's going to play like 7 minutes to start the game, and then he's going to play 7 minutes to start the third quarter, and then he's not going to play anymore. So you're going to get like 14, 15 minutes from Damian Jones, unless something happens and Harrell gets hurt or something. I don't see any reason why you would play Damian Jones. What do you think about this lineup on Yahoo? Quickly, LeVert, Wright, Burks, Giannis, Stewart, and Randall. Stewart, I'm not really on. Like, I don't play Isaiah Stewart when Plumlee's like Isaiah Stewart. I think was a good value when we had that stretch of games where Plumlee was out. But when Plumlee's in, like I just don't play Isaiah Stewart. And I know he's been getting decent minutes off the bench, but when he's not starting, like I don't know. He's going to play probably 20 to 22 minutes. Sure, he could give you 25 fantasy points, but not a guy I'm really looking to. The rest looks good, though. Thoughts on Drew Holiday? I think Drew Holiday's underpriced for sure. He got up to 32 minutes last time these teams played Saturday, and he played 32 minutes in that game. I think the minutes are just going to keep going up till he gets back to normal minutes. I think we're probably getting 33, 34 minutes from Drew. I really like him. It's a good matchup. I think he is a little bit too cheap for sure. He's too cheap on both sides, especially Yahoo. He looks really good on Yahoo. Feel like tonight you could make a solid team going mid-range, not stars and scrubs. Yeah, this doesn't feel like a stars and scrubs slate just because there's not a lot of great cheap value that I feel good about. The line right quickly, LeBron, Giannis, Holmes, McGruder. What do you think? 8K left for 2 players. I mean, if you can find, some guys to fill out those last 2 spots, I think that's fine. But you could drop down from LeBron to somebody else, and then you'll have some more salary to work with there, Omar. Galvin Rico, $5 super chat. Hey, thank you, Galvin, man. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate the support, man. You could have left a message, but I appreciate that. Can you explain how cash builds and GPP builds are different? DC, in cash games, you just want to play the best possible lineup that you can. So you don't really care about ownership. You don't care who's going to be popular. You just want to play the best plays. It's pretty simple. If you have access to projections, you just want to play the highest projected lineup that you can. In GPPs, when you're trying to beat out thousands and thousands of other people, you have to think about ownership. You got to, definitely you want to have lower owned plays in your lineup. That doesn't mean everyone in your lineup needs to be low owned, but having some lower owned plays to differentiate from the field, you always want to do that in GPPs. But cash games, you're just playing the best possible lineup you can. If you're playing like a double up, it doesn't matter if you get first place in a double up. You're going to win the same amount as the guy that, gets right into the money. Whereas tournaments, obviously, if if you win first place, you're getting a huge payout, whereas a guy who min cashes is not. You're trying to get that first place. You're trying to build a lineup that has the upside to get to first place and to pass other people, whereas cash games, you just want to get in the money. So I hope that explains it. Barrett or Hayward? I'd take Hayward there if you have the salary. Fantasy Labs has Derek White as a rest candidate. Yeah, it's a back-to-back, but he's not on the injury report, so I assume he plays, Mark. But yeah, I guess that is something to monitor. I assume he plays, though. He wasn't on the injury report. Levert or Zubac? I mean, I'd take Levert there. Who you like better tonight, Middleton or Ja Morant? I'd probably take Ja Morant, honestly. When Giannis is healthy and Drew's back too, I just rarely play Chris Middleton. I'd rather have Ja. We think of my lineup: Drew, Levert, Quickly, Burks, Keldon Johnson, Randall, Holmes, and Giannis. I mean, that looks pretty solid in my opinion. Dario Saric or Alex Len? Give me Alex Len there. Good afternoon, Noah. What's your thoughts? Wright, Quickly, Mikal Bridges, Washington, Valanciunas, Holiday, Barton, and Brogdon. I mean, you're gonna have a lot of guys in there that are low owned. I think Brogdon, Washington, Bridges, they're all gonna be super low owned. I mean, if that's like a tournament lineup, then that makes some sense. I'm not really on Bridges or Washington though. I think there's better plays on this slate. I guess it's fine though. It's not that bad. How about Wright, Beal, Burks, Giannis, Sarge, McGruder, Hield, White? I mean, that's fine, I guess. I don't really like Sarge on this slate. I think there's better plays than Sarge, but yeah, that's fine. Wright over Drew, price being considered. I mean, yeah, Wright is like $1,000 cheaper on DK. So, yeah, maybe with the savings you could play Wright. On Yahoo, they're pretty closely priced. Wright's $20. I think Drew is $22. So, that's super close. Draftkings, sure, you could take the discount. But I do like both. I think Wright and Drew are both really good options at guard. What do you think about Eubanks? 3K had 37 DK points versus Philly. I mean, Adam, that was because it was a huge blowout. I mean, you don't really want to look too much into that. Eubanks, if the game's close, Eubanks is going to play 12, 15 minutes at most. Only reason he got so much run was because of the blowout. Dejounte Murray or Fox? I mean, if you have the salary, I would go with Fox there. White and Burks, Barton and White or Burks, or Buddy Hield and Burks. That's a crazy question, Christopher, but White and Burks. I guess I'd go Buddy Hield and Burks there. I mean, I think you kind of messed up that question, but I guess I'd take Buddy Hield and Burks. You kind of repeated yourself. But I'd probably take Buddy Hield and Burks there. I do have some interest in Buddy Hield. Mainly on Yahoo, where he helps to fill the shooting guard position. On DK, with the positional flexibility, you don't really have to play Alec Burks or Buddy Hield. Excuse me. There's other guys you could play at shooting guard, like let's say I think Drew Holiday has shooting guard eligibility, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, he's only point guard, but like Dennis Schroeder has shooting guard eligibility. I have some interest in him. Quickly, you can play at shooting guard. On Yahoo, where you have to play at least one shooting guard, I think Buddy Hield looks a little bit better there. $23, pretty appealing price tag. But like DK, you can play Quickly at shooting guard and then play a guy like Wright, Drew Holiday. You can play those two guys at point guard. On Yahoo, between Melton and Hayward or Kuz and Hield, I'd probably take Kuz and Hield there between those two, Daniel. Can you get 3 studs in a lineup? I mean, not on this slate, Vernon. I don't see any value to really make that work. If you're playing 3 studs in your lineup, I mean, I don't know who the hell you're going to play with them, because there's not a ton of guys below 4 or 5K that I feel really confident in. There's viable options down there like Rodney McGruder, some of these cheap Pistons that'll get a few more minutes, but do I really want to play those low usage cheap Pistons? Not really. And if if Rodney McGruder goes out there and puts up 30 DK points a night and has a big game, then so be it. But I feel like that's someone I don't really need to play, especially if he's going to be somewhat popular. Doesn't feel like a slate where I'm jamming in studs. Any love for Montrezl Harrell? Yeah, I do have interest in Montrezl Harrell. The minutes have been up recently, which is good to see. He's been playing, around 30 to 32 minutes off the bench. Montrezl Harrell, always been a productive player when he does get minutes. So I think, if we're getting 32, 33 minutes from Montrezl Harrell, which seems likely against a small ball Warriors team, that 6,200, easily a strong center option in the mid-range. If I can find the extra salary, I feel a little bit better about Rashawn Holmes. But yeah, I definitely think Montrezl Harrell's in play. If Ibaka is out, who's the better play, Zubac or Morris? I'm going with Zubac there. I think Zubac gets the start, probably plays low to mid 20s minutes, could play more. He's a much more productive player than Morris is, so give me Zubac. If Ibaka's out, give me Zubac. You like LeBron at all? I mean, not much interest in LeBron. I mean, LeBron, with AD out, he's basically in play every slate. But on this slate particular, like I'd rather have Harden, I'd rather have Giannis. Those are guys I'd rather go to over LeBron. Who the heck is our shooting guard on Yahoo tonight? Yeah, shooting guard's pretty gross, I'll be honest. I think some of the better options, in my opinion, like Buddy Hield for $23 I have interest in, Derek White for $19. Like I said earlier, Karis LeVert, he's pretty affordable at $17. I think those are the guys I'm kind of looking to at shooting guard. But yeah, the position's bad, man. Like, there's nobody that stands out. It's tough. I don't like shooting guard at all today. I think shooting guard is just going to be, when I'm building out my lineup, just whatever I have left at shooting guard, that's just what I'll play, I guess. Tough position for sure. What about Julius Randle? I mean, yeah, we mentioned Randle earlier. I think he's a very strong pay-up option. Him, Giannis, I think those are like Giannis, Harden, I guess, are like my two favorite guys, like above 9K. Guess you could throw Fox in there too. But Randle, Giannis, Harden, I like all those guys. Can you play all them in the same lineup? Probably not, but you should be able to at least get one of the three, maybe two. Zubac will double-double tonight. I mean, if he gets the start and he plays 22, 24 minutes, he could definitely double-double in that time because he's always productive when he gets the minutes. He's a good scorer. He's a good rebounder. He can block some shots. He's a guy that I have interest in when the minutes are there, for sure. And I think the minutes will be there if Ibaka's out. What's up, Brody? Which games are you targeting tonight? I mean, I don't want to say there's any games in particular. Like, this doesn't feel like a slate where I'm going to be playing like a ton of guys from one game. I think there's a couple guys from the Knicks that I really like. Randall, Burks, obviously Emmanuel Quickley. That doesn't mean I'm going to play all of them in the same lineup, but I have some interest in them. But yeah, this doesn't really feel like a slate where there's a few games that stand out. I think there's viable plays in almost every game. What do you think about Cody Zeller? I mean, I'm probably not going to Cody Zeller on this slate. I'd rather get up to that mid-range, that 6K range, play guys like Harrell, Rashawn Holmes. Those are kind of guys I'm looking to at center. Like Cody Zeller I don't know. I don't even think he's been getting the minutes recently. Like they've been giving Biyombo good minutes off the bench. We know they're willing to play PJ Washington at center some. Like my best guess is if this game's close, we probably get like 25 minutes from Cody Zeller. I mean, sure, he could put up 30 fantasy points in 25 minutes and be a good play, but yeah, I'm not really interested in Cody Zeller. And if he burns me, he burns me, but I don't think really anyone's going to be on him personally, so I don't think it's really going to matter. Randall or Sabonis, I'd rather have Randall on this slate. Just better matchup, better game environment. Give me Randall. Thoughts on Terrence Mann? I mean, I don't see any reason to play Terrence Mann. Like he might have got, or I don't know how many minutes he played last night, but I'm sure he got some additional minutes because of the blowout. But, when Kawhi's healthy, when PG's healthy, I don't see any reason why Terrence Mann would be someone you'd look to. On DK, you can play Quickly or Derek White at point guard, shooting guard. Yeah, like you can play Derek White at shooting guard. You can play Quickly at shooting guard. Talking about Yahoo though, it's different over there. Derek White he's a shooting guard, which is nice, but Quickly's point guard. I wish Quickly was a shooting guard on Yahoo. That made things a lot easier. Shooting guard's tough over there, tough position. Thoughts on White, Barton, Holmes, Giannis, Kawhi, Wright, Sarge, Kennard. I mean, Sarge and Kennard, I don't see any reason why you should be playing them. Like Kennard, with Kawhi and PG in, I don't see any reason why you should play Kennard. Sarge, like I just never played Dario Sarge, especially when DeAndre Ayton's healthy. I don't really play Sarge, but the rest looks good. Did you talk about Draymond? Yeah, Draymond, on Draftkings, he's way too cheap. I think he's definitely one of the better options in the mid-range. Draymond should be like 7,500. I don't know why he's 6,500 today. When Draymond gets his normal minutes, when he plays 35, 36 minutes, I mean, we've seen he can go out there and triple-double and put up 50 fantasy points. So, yeah, Draymond's too cheap on DK. Plumlee or Zubac? I mean, if you have the salary, I would play Plumlee. But I really like Zubac as a value if Ibaka gets ruled out. I would have played Robert Williams instead of Theis last night, and I had a takedown, but Theis got me 1.5 fantasy points. I'm tilted. Yeah, Robert Williams, Like I just rarely play Robert Williams. Like I haven't played him at all this year. I know he's had some huge games, but when Thompson and Theis are both healthy, like I just don't play Robert Williams. I know he had a huge game though. He put up like 40 fantasy points in like 19 minutes. Like I wish we would actually get a slate where Robert Williams would like start and play like 30 minutes. Then I'd be on him, but you just never know. Like he could play 22 minutes, he could play 14. But yeah, Theis, that was weird, man. I think he played literally 6 minutes. He started the first half, played like, I don't even know, like 2 or 3 minutes, and then I don't even know if he started the second half. But he must have got injured or something, or just, I guess they just chose not to play him. Best value / mid-range small forward option. I mean, if you're looking for a cheaper small forward, I do like Alec Burks. He is 4,400 in the mid-range. I think Will Barton for 5,300 is solid in the mid-range. RJ Barrett as well, 6,200. So, yeah, like RJ Barrett, Will Barton, Alec Burks, those are the kind of guys I would say to go with there. Randall or Jokic, I mean, if you have the salary, I'd play Jokic. When you factor in the discount, though, I'd take Randall. Randall's like almost $1,000 cheaper. So I'd probably take Randall. Draymond and Holiday, both 6,500, seem like a couple of nice underpriced mid-range plays. I'd agree, Michael. Totally agree. What about Jonas tonight versus Phoenix? I mean, yeah, Valanciunas, like he's another center option I'm looking to. I think for the savings, I'd rather play like Rashawn Holmes or Montrezl Harrell. But yeah, Valanciunas, I mean, we know Valanciunas has massive upside every night. If he gets the minutes, he can put up 50, 60 basically any night. He has, he's a great point per minute player. This doesn't feel like a slate where I'm starting my lineup with Valanciunas, but if he makes it in there, totally fine with that. Totally fine with that. I have 5,200 left in utility. What would be a few good options? Probably Derek White there. Derek White's 5,200, so I'd probably take him. Yeah, I'd probably take Derek White. He's the first guy that comes to mind. Now that DeRozan's out, him and Dejounte Murray, I do have some interest in. Kyle Kuzma, yeah, I have some interest in Kyle Kuzma. I think I like him more on Yahoo, where he's $19. He's a little bit cheaper there. DK at $6K, he's a fine option. Like I think I'd rather play Harrell for a little bit more salary. But yeah, Kuzma's been playing really well lately off the bench. Kuzma's someone that's kind of frustrating to roster. You just never know what you're going to get from him, but he's been productive lately. And without AD, you would expect him to be productive when he's out there. Did you play yesterday? I did, Omar. I basically play every day. I know I didn't make a video yesterday, but I still played. What's up, Noah? Got a 10-pound brisket. Brought in for some smoked pastrami for March Madness. Damn, that sounds good, T-Money. Sounds pretty good. I made my bracket earlier today. I don't know shit about college basketball. I used to watch college basketball a good amount, a couple years ago, but I don't watch it nearly as much. But I made my bracket. I just picked Florida State to win the tournament just because I'm a Florida State fan. I don't watch the basketball, though. Like, I'm a diehard Florida State football fan, but I do not watch basketball. Like, I love basketball, but I just don't watch college basketball. It's kind of weird. I'll watch during the tournament, though, especially if my bracket's doing well. Montrezl Harrell, a solid play? Yeah, we talked about Harrell. He's a solid option for sure. What about Karis LeVert tonight? On DK, I'm not playing Karis LeVert. He's too expensive. But on FanDuel, I know he's super cheap. On Yahoo, he's pretty affordable. So I like him there, but not on DK. Thanks for the feedback. Did you have a good trip / break during the All-Star break? I did, Brandon. I did. Me and my girl, we went to Charlotte for the weekend. We just kind of just walked around, ate at a bunch of good food places. We were going to do a bunch of stuff like they had like bowling, they had a Top Golf, they had axe throwing, but like everything was closed in Charlotte. It's kind of weird. So we weren't really able to do anything, but we did eat a bunch of good food. It was a fun weekend, for sure. If you're happy with your lineup, what's the most money left on the table that you feel comfortable leaving on Yahoo? I would say on a 2-game slate, like on a short slate, you could leave a good amount just to be different. But on like a full slate like this, I normally don't leave more than like $3 or $4. On like a 2-game slate that where you're trying to, be contrarian, I think leaving, $7, $8 is fine. DK has bracket pools. Yeah, I'm sure they do. I haven't looked into it. I did it on Yahoo. Yahoo has they have a 50K contest they do every year. It's like a free roll thing. It's basically free to enter, and basically whoever has the best bracket in the contest wins like the grand prize. So I usually always put a bracket together and I'll put it in that. Have you seen what Jordan Poole has been doing? I mean, I have not. Like, what is he? I haven't even considered Jordan Poole on this slate. I mean, he's still not getting like a ton of minutes. I mean, he's still playing like low to mid 20s minutes. I mean, he's been productive. Like, he's given you 23 DK points in 4 straight, but like, I don't know. Like, I just don't play Jordan Poole. You know, sure, if there were to be a lot of guys out for the Warriors, then yeah, Jordan Poole become viable. But the team's fully healthy right now. I don't really see why we should be playing Jordan Poole if he's only going to play 20 to 22 minutes. At that point, you just got to hope that he's really gets really hot, knocks down some shots. I'm just not like I'd rather play Alex Len, I think, over Jordan Poole. Same price tag. Jeremy Grant, Gordon Hayward, or RJ Barrett. I'd probably take Gordon Hayward there. You ever played FanDuel Be the Score? I have not. I played FanDuel a lot, for MLB a couple years ago, and I really haven't played much since. So I don't even know what Beat the Score is, honestly. I went Gonzaga to win in my bracket. Yeah, I think Gonzaga I had going to like the Final Four or somewhere close to that. I mean, like I said, I don't know shit about college basketball, so I just kind of picked just randomly. Schroeder versus DeLon Wright. I'd probably take DeLon Wright there. Would you rather go for Harrell, Wright, Giannis, or Holiday, Jeremy Grant, Brad Beal? I'd take Harrell, Wright, and Giannis there, Bryce. I love basketball, but not college. I mean, I kind of agree with you there. I would say college basketball is very entertaining to watch during in March during the tournament. I just don't watch it during the regular season. Like, I watched it a little bit a couple years ago. Like, Florida State had a good run a couple years ago. Like, when they had Patrick Williams, they had some other guys that were really good that, they didn't really make it in the NBA. I can't remember. They had, like, a center that was really good. He went to the Heat. I forgot his name. I don't know who he was. Or I forgot his name, but he was really good when he was at Florida State. Dwayne Bacon was pretty good when he was at Florida State. Obviously, he's not been that great in the NBA. But anytime my Noles have a chance to win a title or something, I'm going to tune in. So I'll be watching some of the Florida State games for sure. College basketball has definitely changed over the last 5 years or so. I guess I could agree there. Like, I feel like I used to know a lot of the players in college. I don't know, like, any college basketball players. I'll be honest. Like, I don't even know who's the number one pick. This is expected to be the number one pick. Like, I have no idea. No, it wasn't Presta Chua. He's not. I don't think he's on the team anymore. He was on the team a couple years ago though. I gotta look this up. It's gonna piss me off. I have to look up the Heat's roster from like last year or 2019. He went to Florida State. He was really good at Florida State, but he really didn't make it like in the NBA. But he had times like where he would actually get decent minutes and he would be really productive. I gotta look this up. All right, I'm looking at it's not on the 2019 roster. Let's try 2018. Cade Cunningham? No, it's not Cade Cunningham. Or Cade Cunningham, number one pick. Gotcha. I have no idea who that is. I'll be honest with you. Let me see. I gotta find this. Okaro White. That's who it is. Okaro White. He was a monster when he was at Florida State. But he just never made it in the NBA. Right or Quickly? I would rather have Quickly there, Gary. Give me Quickly. I mean, I think Quickly is easily one of the top plays on the slate. Especially if he starts. I don't know if he's going to start. Last time Rose and Payton were both out, they started, Ntilikina. But I still think Quickly's a good play, even if he comes off the bench. You believe Kuzma can keep up his current production? I mean, it depends on what you consider like current production. Like, is Kuzma going to go for 40-plus fantasy points? Probably not, but he's productive when he gets the minutes. So without Anthony Davis, he averages close to a fantasy point per minute. If he's going to play 30 to 32 minutes off the bench, Kuzma's viable for sure. It is a pretty good game environment against the Warriors. The Warriors do still play really fast, so I have some interest in Kuzma for sure. Yeah, Jonathan Isaac, another really good player coming out of Florida State. Like Jonathan Isaac, Dwayne Bacon. There were some other guys that were pretty good. I forgot their names. Carl White or Patrick Williams. 7,900 left for util on DK. I'd probably take Deontay Murray there. Either like Deontay Murray or J-Val. Probably Deontay Murray now that DeRozan's out. Terrence Mann, yeah, that's another one. DK, favorite play under 4,200. I'd probably be like Alex Lynn. He's 3,700. I'd probably take him, assuming that he starts again. There really isn't much down here that I really like, but yeah, I'd probably go with Lynn, I guess. Any interest in Sadiq Bey? I mean, not much interest, to be honest, Mitch Dad. Like, I just haven't been playing Sadiq Bey recently. Like, if I'm going to play anyone on the Pistons, I think it's going to be either like Jeremy Grant, DeLon Wright, or maybe you take a shot on one of those cheap guys like McGruder or Saban Lee. Like, I don't know. I just don't have much interest in Sadiq Bey. I feel like there's better options at the small forward positions. Like, if I can find salary, I think I'd rather play RJ Barrett. You got any DFS mentors? I mean, I wouldn't say that. Like, there wasn't really any guys when I started playing DFS. When I found out what DFS was, I would say at the beginning I found out about Roto Grinders. Like, I found Roto Grinders, their YouTube channel. I started listening to their podcast. That definitely helped me to become a better player. Like, hearing other people talk about DFS. I don't know if there's anyone who like helped me be a better player though. I just played for a while and just kind of figured it out myself. CP3 thoughts? I mean, yeah, CP3's viable. I'd probably rather play like Deontay Murray on this slate. Probably rather play John Morant. There's other guys in his price range I'd rather get to. But I mean, CP3's fine. But yeah, I think I'd rather have like Deontay Murray. $38 left to spend in the util spot. I'm leaning Morant. If you got $38, I'd probably take... I mean, if you have $38, I'd probably go with like... I'd probably take LaMelo, honestly, if you have the salary. Like LaMelo or Paul George or Murray. I'd rather have LaMelo over Morant, I think. I know LaMelo's minutes have kind of been down with Devontae Graham back, but still, LaMelo we know has massive upside, and it is a really good matchup against Sacramento. So I'd probably take LaMelo there. You think DeLon Wright over Drew Holiday? That's super close price. I think on Draftkings I do prefer DeLon Wright because he's like $1,000 cheaper. On Yahoo they're super closely priced. I think I lean Drew Holiday there. But yeah, I like both a lot. I think both are a little bit too cheap, Wright and Holiday. To be different on DK instead of Quickly and barring Melton and Draymond, I mean, yeah, that's probably going to be a much lower owned pairing. I mean, Draymond's going to be popular, I think. I don't think Melton's going to be that popular. But yeah, you could do that, Daniel. I mean, I like both sides of that. Quickly, Barton, Melton, Draymond. I like both sides of that. But yeah, you can make that swap if you want to. You like Abdel Nader? I don't see any reason why we should be playing Abdel Nader on this slate. Like, I don't even know how many minutes he's been getting. Like, there's just some guys I just never play. I mean, sure, Abdel Nader's been playing like 20 to 22 minutes, but, I mean, I just don't play guys that, unless they're really, really productive point-per-minute players, I just don't play guys that are going to play like 20 to 22 minutes. Unless it's like a Boban or, a really productive guy. Even Zubac. Like, Zubac, I'd be fine if he gets 22 minutes. But, like, Abdel Nader, 22 minutes from Abdel Nader, I just, no. Trying to run Holiday and Wright or Schroeder, but Giannis makes it so tough. Let's get this bread. Hey, let's get it, Bryce. Let's get it, man. Yeah, it's a tough slate to jam in Giannis, but I think if I can make it work, I'm going to try and do it. I just love this matchup for Giannis. It's a spot where he should feast once again. Going to try out Yahoo for the first time better than DK. I mean, Danny, I like Yahoo more than DK. I'll be honest with you. Yahoo's my favorite DFS site. It's where I've had the most success. But it's all up to you. I mean, I've played like 5 different sites. I played DK on Yahoo. I've played FanDuel before. I've tried out Super Draft. I used to play on Fantasy Draft a decent amount when they were still going. I mean, there's other sites too, like Boom Fantasy. I don't know if you guys ever remember that, but I played there for a little bit. Yahoo was the first site I ever played on, and it's been the one I've had the most success on, and the one I've enjoyed playing on the most. I think I just like their pricing. I like the salary, the way you construct lineups there. And since I started there, it's kind of where I've learned from the most, I guess. Prize Picks is one I haven't tried yet, but I think I might look into it. They've hit me up before for like sponsorships and stuff, and I haven't really got back to them. I know there's other DFS guys that are being sponsored by Prize Picks, and they've reached out to me, but like I just don't know. Like I just don't know if I want to be sponsored by a company if I'm not going to actually use their app. Like I play on Yahoo every day, I play on DK every day. If they were to sponsor me, I'd love that opportunity. I just don't know if I'm going to like use. Like I know there's guys out there, man. A lot of these dudes like. They're sponsored by these companies, but they're not playing on these sites. Like, it's dumb. It's just a way for them to make money, I guess. DeLon Wright and Sarge or Drew Holiday and Taj Gibson. I mean, I'd probably take DeLon Wright and Sarge there if I had to pick one. Took a little break, but I'm back tonight. Let's get it. Hey, let's get it, Clinton. Appreciate you being here, man. Yahoo's definitely the best. Always guys way too cheap. Yeah, that's true. The pricing on Yahoo, it's definitely one you got to get used to. The salaries are a lot different. It's kind of the same on FanDuel. I know FanDuel's pricing is super soft. Like they just leave guys super cheap forever. Like Quickly should not. I don't know. Like Quickly, I think somebody said he's 4,300. Like yeah, I mean Quickly should not be that cheap. And for Yahoo, I mean he's close to minimum salary on Yahoo. I don't know why. Yeah, you can do. Yeah, when you first sign up for Yahoo, you can do rookie games and you can do no veteran games. So those are where you want to start with. They're a lot easier. Lot easier competition. Levert or Zubac? I'd take Levert there if you have the salary. You ever played on Overlay? I have not. Any interest in DJ Wilson? I hope you're trolling. I mean, why would you play DJ Wilson? Like, has DJ Wilson even been in the rotation? He didn't even play last game. I hope you're trolling, man. Who is a stud to fade between Giannis and Harden? I mean, on this slate, I think I'd rather have Giannis, especially when you just factor in position. Like, I think guard. There's a lot of good guard plays in the mid-range, like Drew, DeLon Wright, Quickly. Forward, like there's a couple guys I like at forward, but there's no standout plays at forward. So I'd be willing to pay up for Giannis if I can. Going with Quickly, Burke, Dre, Zubac, Fox, and Randall for the win as of now. I mean, that looks solid for now, John. Was a listener before the bubble, but didn't play DFS during the bubble. Glad to see your channel has grown. Great content. Hey, I appreciate that, SB Mitchell. Thank you, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. Playing DJ Wilson for blowout? I mean, Mitch, Dad, do not do that. Playing guys that need to have a blowout, it's just, you're going to lose a lot doing that. I mean, DJ Wilson, even if it is a blowout, like he could still not play. I mean, he's not even been in the rotation. Did you talk about Montrez already? Yeah, we did. I like Montrez a good amount. I think I'd rather have Rashawn Holmes for a little bit more salary. But yeah, he's definitely in play, Montrezl Harrell. Draymond, Porter, Rozier, LeVert, if you had to pick one for tiers, I'd take Draymond there, I think. What do you think of Gibson? He's been getting 24 to 26 minutes. I mean, like, when Nerlens Noel and Julius Randle are both healthy, like, I just don't play Taj Gibson. And sure, he could get 26 minutes again tonight, but I don't know. I just don't play Taj Gibson when those guys are healthy. Thoughts on Melton? Yahoo shooting guard need to punt position? Yeah, I think if you're going cheap at shooting guard, he's probably the best option. Recussions. I appreciate the $5 super chat, man. He said, thanks for the solid content. Any concerns for a Randall Sabonis play? I mean, Randall, I really like. Sabonis, I'm not as high on. I think that's going to be super contrarian. I don't think anybody's going to play those two guys together. Like, I don't see many people building lineups where they have Randall and Sabonis together. I really like Randall. I'm not really on Sabonis, though. That's your call. I mean, Sabonis is always a solid play, but I think if I can find a salary, I'd rather get Giannis in there. But thank you for the $5 Super Chat repercussions. I appreciate that, man. Not sure why people think Zubac is going to suddenly play massive minutes if Ibaka's out. They've had plenty of chances to play Zubac big minutes over the past 2 seasons. He still gets 25 minutes. I mean, BP, nobody said he's going to play big minutes. Like, Zubac doesn't need 36 minutes to get there. Like, Zubac's always been a productive player. If he plays 25 minutes, he's going to probably score close to 30 Draftkings points. So, if Ibaka's out, I think Zubac gets at least like 22, 24 minutes, and he becomes in play, in my opinion. There's some guys that don't need a ton of minutes to be productive. There's some guys that need to play big minutes to get there. Zubac's not one of those guys. He doesn't need big minutes to be good for his price. Is it going to be a mistake to leave $600 on the table tonight? I mean, if you don't see anywhere you want to upgrade, I think it's fine to do that. If you don't see anywhere you can, spend that money. Should I try to go Randall route instead of Giannis since Giannis will be so highly owned? I mean, I guess you could. I don't think Giannis is going to be that popular. Like, I don't see Giannis being like massive chalk tonight. So, I mean, I guess you could, but I still really like Giannis. When I like guys, man, like I don't know. I don't worry about ownership. If I really like someone and I think they're going to do well, I'm just going to play them. Have all my DFS money on Yahoo DK. Placed a couple of times, not won any contest yesterday. I was in first till Donovan Mitchell. Thice killed me. Yeah, Thice, that was a bad one, man. I don't know why Tice only played 6 minutes. It's just weird. I got you, BP. I got you. Yeah, I don't expect Zubac to play like 36 minutes. I'd be even surprised if he gets 30. But if he gets I think 26, 28 is definitely possible. SB Mitchell, $5 Super Chat, man. I appreciate that. You mind checking out my free projection site? Can you give me some ideas on how to improve it? Yeah, you can just link me in on Twitter, if you know my Twitter, @DFS by Noah. Just send me a DM or send me the link on Twitter and I'll check it out. App is called Yahoo Fantasy Daily Sports. Yeah, if you want to check out Yahoo on the App Store, I think it's just look up Yahoo Fantasy Sports, and that's how you can do it. Or that's their app, I guess. They keep obviously Yahoo's a huge site for like season-long fantasy, but their DFS platform, it's on the same app. Maybe they should probably I don't know if they should, but they could make an app where have their season-long app and then have like a DFS app. But yeah, it's all in one right now. So just download the Yahoo Fantasy app and just go to the DFS section. You like Giannis over Jokic? I do, TJ. I prefer Giannis there. Can you rank these centers for Yahoo? Pirtle, Jordan, Harrell? I'd go Harrell number 1, Jordan 2, and Pirtle 3. After bonus, Kawhi and Booker, you like spending a lot of salary on those guys? I mean, I think Kawhi is a little bit too cheap. Sabonis and Booker, I'm not really that interested in. But I think Kawhi's in play. I mean, I don't think those are guys I'd be playing like in the same lineup. Can you help me with a cheap small forward, less than 4K? Well, that's going to be tough. I don't think there's a ton of small forwards I really like down here. But if I had to pick anybody, I mean, you could take a shot on Marcus Morris and hope that Ibaka gets ruled out. He should get more minutes if Ibaka sits. Small forward, just not a ton of value down here. I guess take a shot on Marcus Morris. Or maybe, I guess you could play Jordan Poole, but I don't think I'd be doing that personally. It's tough. There's not much value down there. Thoughts on Tyler Johnson? I mean, I don't see any reason why you should be playing Tyler Johnson on this slate. If you want to explain to me why you think Tyler Johnson's a good play, I'll be happy to listen, but I don't see any reason why you should be playing Tyler Johnson. I know he's probably super cheap, but I mean, he's been getting like 17, 18 minutes. I don't see any reason why you should play him. Kuzma, Jay Rich. I take Kyle Kuzma there. Come on, we have 162 viewers. Click that like button, guys. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. I'm about to wrap up the stream in a few more minutes. If you got any last-minute questions, throw them in chat, but we'll wrap things up here shortly. I appreciate all you tuning in, though, as always, man. Thanks, as always, guys, for the support. Thanks for tuning into the stream. Hit that like button, as always. I appreciate all the likes, man. Thoughts on Miles Turner? I think there's other center options I prefer. Like, I'd rather have Montrezl Harrell. I'd rather have Rashawn Holmes. If I can get up to J-Val, I'd rather have J-Val. So Miles Turner, probably not going to go there personally. Can you tell me your lineup? I'm sorry, Ross, but I cannot do that, man. I don't give out lineups. Click the like button, guys. It should be automatic when you join the stream. It's just one button press. Yeah. Click. It doesn't take much. Yeah, just hit the like button. It takes one button. Just click it. Any interest in Marcus Morris? Yeah, I think if Zubac or if Ibaka gets ruled out, maybe Marcus Morris picks up a few more minutes. Maybe they play him at the 5 a little bit. Am I confident in him? No, but he's cheap. He's somewhat viable, I guess. Can you give the value for today's slate? I mean, there's not much value today, I'll be honest. There's not a ton of guys that stand out below 5K. Zubac's probably my favorite value below 5K if Ibaka gets ruled out. But there isn't much down there. Doesn't feel like a slate where I'm jamming in, the studs, because there's just not the value. There's not enough value to make it work. At least not right now. Something could change from now to a lock and somebody gets ruled out, which opens up value. But if nothing changes, doesn't feel like a stars and scrubs kind of slate. Don't think it's going to be that way. Thank you, Noah. Let's get the bag. Hey, let's get it, Robert. I'll answer this last question. Quickly or White? If you had to choose one, I'd probably take Quickly there, definitely. Quickly's one of the better plays on the slate, in my opinion, so I would take Quickly there. But all right, guys, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. We've been live for about an hour, so appreciate all you tuning in, man. Best of luck tonight, guys, as always. Should be back tomorrow, probably same time, streaming once again. So hope you guys can tune into the stream tomorrow. Good luck tonight, guys. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Good luck, guys.